No, wrong buttons. Nope, 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 nope. There we go. Oh, my hat. There we go. Dear. Someday I'll get a hang of this. I think, maybe, I guess. Anyway, I'm back. Hopefully fix the blinking problem. I think light was just my problem. Anyway, so once again, I am back, reading chapter 2 of First Nephi in the Book of Mormon. Because that's what I've decided that I'm gonna do, for a little while. I think next time I get on stream, I'm just gonna play a video game. I really want to play a video game tonight because I really, really just want to play video games. But I also know that consistency on YouTube when live streaming and trying to get an audience is important. So, oh, that reminds me. Let me do that real quick because I had to make a new. I'm very upset with myself. I accidentally made went live earlier and didn't mean to, and that was a mistake on my part. Let's see. Sorry, just going on my Twitter here to share. I'm going to delete this one because that was new post. Go to YouTube. My channel. Share on X. Yes. Starting now. Post. Okay, cool. A little bit of a throat problem today. Rather unpleasant, but it's okay. I have some tea. I'll be fine. I will be just fine. Let's see. I spent today making, having, oh shit, something in my eye. Dang it. Dang it, my eye. I went ahead and bought X Premium today, and spent a good amount of time having Grok make my thumbnail and some new profile pics and stuff, just to try to make myself look a little bit more professional and nice. I'm really happy with my thumbnail. It turned out really good. It took a little bit to get Grok to tweak it exactly how I wanted it, but I think it looks really good. And I'm really happy with it. I had to be really specific, and I think you have to kind of like tell AI exactly what you want, and you have to be really specific about it. Or the first one it gave me when I told it to make a thumbnail was, I was like, make me a thumbnail. Hi. You make me blush. Anyway, so I had it make me a thumbnail, and it, it gave me the first thing it gave me, because I said, hey, using this character, but I didn't specify to like stick to this design specifically. I just said use this character, and it was like super low cut, really giant breasts just like hanging out there for the world to see. And I was like, no, that's not my style. Please put those away. And to be like, Grok, can you dress me more modestly? And like it did, but then it put me in like turtleneck, long sleeve, long skirt, and I really wish I had saved those images because it was really funny. But I didn't, unfortunately. Um, but it was kind of funny. It was like, oh yes, you are anime woman. You want profile or a thumbnail, YouTube thumbnail? Here, boobs. I'm not that kind of anime woman. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, that was my day. Grok is kind of fun to play with. Uh, sometimes, except for when it tries to make you boobs. Yeah, yeah, that. Uh, I don't have the, when I picked my model, I was very specific. I was like, I want a model that isn't like, I wanted her to look cute, but I didn't want her to look too young or too sexy. That wasn't what I wanted for a model. I wanted something that was like cute and fun and whimsical, but also like dressed nicely. Then not, cleavage everywhere. I don't have a problem with those models. They just, I didn't want one of those. The last thing I want is for like, you know, oh, my dad finds out that I have a YouTube channel and he comes on here and all of a sudden, boobs. I might die. Anyway, okay, so this is true. This is true. There are no whores in Ba Sing Se. You know the great part about not being monetized on YouTube? The bad thing is that I'm not monetized on YouTube. Of course, dear, you're the only person who watches me, so. But the great thing is I don't have to be worried about being demonetized. I can say whatever I want. Because I'm such a lewd person. That would be my problem. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna read Nephi chapter 2. I had some more interesting Mormon stuff come up on my feed today. It wasn't as much as yesterday, but oh, that's a lie. You sleep like a log. You are the worst person to try to wake up. Bye, Penny. You going to go see Papa? Maybe. Think about it. It's been a big hunt. Not as much as yesterday, but some. Yeah, the news of the day today is the Carmelo Anthony trial. I was just getting to the part in Timcast when he was gonna show the sentencing was coming up, because it's a little bit behind, but I guess I'll find out what that was when I'm done on here. I'm a I'm already dipping my toes into religion. I don't think I should dip my toes into politics just yet. Get myself in trouble for one thing at a time, not at 17. Right? Anyway, okay, so we've got here chapter 2. I'm gonna try really hard not to do that because apparently I'm tired. That happens. It's okay. Anyway, okay. So chapter 2. Yesterday we read about I don't even remember. It was just a lot of and I see it here again. I did have a thought yeah, about yesterday's reading, and I don't know. Again, I'm not an archaeologist, I'm not a historian. I'm an anime woman on YouTube. I don't know much. But yea, I make a record in the language of my father, which consists of the learning of the Jews and the language of the Egyptians. Now, I looked it up, and of course, I just did like a cursory glance on like Google's AI that popped up, the like AI overview, and I thought it was really interesting because like I asked it like, so this is 600 BC or BCE, whichever one you want to use, they're the same. It says 600 BC, so this is before the Babylonian captivity. This is 800-ish years after the Israelites leave Egypt. So at least 8 generations, if not more. I'm not really sure how long how long is a generation? How long is a generation? How long is a generation? Oh, 20 to 30 years. So, okay. So how many generations in 18 or 800 years? So this is 24 to 32 right, because when I hit numbers, that's my keys, my shortcut keys. Man, you can really hear my key clicks, can't you? Sorry if that bothers anyone. I have a really nice fancy keyboard. It's well, I don't know if it's like really nice. It's not like it's a nice keyboard. It's an Echo. Echo, right? Yeah, Echo. AKKO keyboard. It's Tokyo themed, so it's really pretty and white and pink. It's got Mount Fuji and cherry blossoms on the space bar. It's really pretty. I like it. Anyway, so that's the clicky you hear. I like the clicky. I don't like the clicky of keyboards, but I'm good with this clicky of this keyboard. It's a soft clicky and not a harsh clicky for a mechanical keyboard, and I like it. Also, it's got the pretty lights, so that makes it better. Anyway, okay, so like this is, so if a generation is like 30 years, and there's like, what are you saying, 24 to 32 generations? Sorry. Between the time that the Jews left Egypt and when Nephi is supposed to be writing this, then was Egyptian a language that these people at that time would have used? And that doesn't, like, just hearing that, and I know I'm a skeptic. I'm coming at this as a skeptic. But that doesn't sound right to me, because they wouldn't have been using Egyptian unless speaking Egyptian, unless they were like talking to Egyptians every day. And I know Israel and Egypt seem really close to us today, but in ancient times they're not that close. I mean, how many Egyptians would there have been in Israel? They would have most likely have been reading or speaking something closer to their geological location, like a um like Phoenician, um or even the Egyptian language would have changed in that time, in that 24 to 32 generations, because like English has changed so much since America was founded, and that's only 250 years. And look at how much English itself has changed in that time. We speak very differently than our ancestors did, and that's a fraction of the generations that were between here and now. So the Egyptian that his father might have known, I'm, it just doesn't make sense to me. And maybe somebody else who's smarter or knows more about languages could understand it. You know, that might be a good question for my cousin. He's really into languages, although he's more into like Chinese, but maybe I should ask him. I'm gonna ask him. That's not a bad question to ask him. Like, would that be, would that make sense? I'm gonna ask him that. Anyway, okay. So, that was one of my thoughts about that from yesterday, was that like that doesn't make sense to me. Um, and then the language which it's translated into. When was the New King James written? That's another question I have. When was the, not New King James, sorry, King James. King James Bible written 1604. So that was well before Joseph Smith, because Joseph Smith, hey look, comes up. He was 1800s, so that's 100 years before him. When was the New King James? Oh, okay, so that's in the 70s. Yeah, so that's a lot older. So yeah, he would have been using the King James Bible. I mean, I think we knew that because like there's one of the critiques of the Book of Mormon is that there's when it quotes the Bible, it quotes the King James version of the Bible. Sorry. Once again. More tea, more caffeine. Actually, it's white tea, so it doesn't have that much caffeine. Yum. Anyway, when the Book of Mormon quotes the Bible, it quotes the New King James, or not New King James. Sorry, I keep saying New King James. It's KJV, King James version. If I say New King James, I mean King James. So when the Book of Mormon quotes the Bible, it's quoting the King James version of the Bible, and that when it does that, it has the same mistakes as the King James version. Now, if Joseph Smith is translating from golden tablets that were written in this Hebrew or Egyptian language, then would he not have not it, I can hear myself. Could you turn it down over headphones, dear? Thank you. Sorry. I love you. Anyway, if he was divinely inspired, wouldn't he not have those errors that we know are in the King James Version? If he's reading it for golden plates and he's translating it and he's divinely inspired by the Lord, I don't think it would have those errors, because presumably it is again, it's divinely inspired, so it would be error free. The original versions of the Bible, you know, the ones directly written by Matthew, James, John, Peter, those would be like, they would be perfectly accurate. It's the copies, it's when you start copying something that it gets errors. And that's why the King James Version has errors in it. Is because when it was translated from Greek into English, it has documentable errors. The translation does. So the best version of the Bible that we have is the one that's written in the original language. Unfortunately, most people don't read Greek or Hebrew or Aramaic, because parts of the Bible are written in Aramaic. Oh, that's another thing. Aramaic. That would have been a language that would have been used in this era, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I think Aramaic might have been a language that was used in this era. Anyway, suffice it to say, Egyptian just seems to be a weird language to write in, and it seems weird to have the mistakes that are in the KJV in the Bible verses that are quoted in the Book of Mormon. So, okay. We will read now chapter 2. If I can stop yawning, because that's what everybody wants to hear. And everyone will tune in for a live stream where the host is yawning all the time. Yawning and drinking tea. I'm more of a coffee person, but tea is for nighttime. Anyway, okay. Chapter 2. We are still with Lehi. Lehi takes his family into the wilderness by the Red Sea. They leave their property. Lehi offers a sacrifice to the Lord and teaches his sons to keep the commandments. Oh, that's another thing. Like, we're told that, like, Lehi has all these, like, okay, like, back in chapter 1, we're told that Lehi has all these, like, visions. He has these visions, but we're not really told what they are. And that's not necessarily, I think I talked about that last time, but I think we're just not told what it is. Anyway, teaches his sons to keep the commandments. Laman and Lemuel Lemuel. Murmur against their father. Nephi is obedient and prays in faith, and the Lord speaks to him, and he is chosen to rule over his brethren. About 600 BC. So, Babylonian captivity. For behold, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto my father, yea, even in a dream, and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Lehi, because of the things which thou hast done, and because thou hast been faithful and declared unto this people the things which I have commanded thee. Behold, they seek to take away thy life. And it came to pass that the Lord commanded my father, even in a dream, that he should take his family and depart into the wilderness. And it came to pass that as he was obedient unto the word of the Lord, wherefore he did as the Lord commanded. And, oh my gosh, every single... I hate it. I hate it. I'm sorry. It's bad. It's bad writing. It's bad writing. It's not poetic. And it came to pass that he was obedient unto the word of the Lord, wherefore he did as the Lord commanded him. Lots of words to say the same thing repeatedly. And it came to pass that he departed into the wilderness, and he left his house and the land of his inheritance, and his gold and his silver and his precious things, and took nothing with him, save it were his family and provision and tents. See, it's just such boring writing that I just yawn. And departed into the wilderness. And he came down by the borders near the shore of the Red Sea, and he traveled into the wilderness and the borders which are near the Red Sea. And he did travel in the wilderness with his family, which consisted of my mother Sarai, and my older brothers, who were Lemuel, and Sam. Poor Sam. Forgotten Sam. We don't talk about Sam. And it came to pass that when he had traveled 3 days in the wilderness, he pitched his tent in a valley by the side of the river of water. And it came to pass that he built an altar of stones and made an offering unto the Lord, and gave thanks to the Lord our God. I also think it's interesting that his mother has the name Sarai, which is the name that Sarah, Abraham's wife, had before God renamed Abraham to Abraham and Sarah. They were Abram and Sarai. So I think it's interesting. And it's kind of like that kind of similar thing. Leave your home and go. And it came to pass that he called the name of the river Laman, and it emptied into the Red Sea, and the valley was in the borders near the mouth thereof. Most of the rivers would have had names by now, wouldn't they? Like the Jordan River is a pretty big river in Israel. And it doesn't sound like, I mean, they only traveled for 3 days. So if they're in... It's not that far. Like 3 days walking out of Jerusalem is as far as Mary and Joseph got when they left Jesus at the temple. That's not that far. This river would have had a name already. And he doesn't say he renames it. He's like, he names it. Like nobody's ever seen this river before. They're not in the wilderness. Well, I mean, like I'm sure they are, but like, it's only 3 days out of Jerusalem. That's not that far. Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. I feel like that's... whatever. Anyway, okay. And it came to pass that he called the name of the river Laman, and it emptied into the Red Sea, and the valley was in the borders near the mouth thereof. Okay, so, like, if we go to a map of Israel, will we find a river? Map of Israel. Geographical. Let's see. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait. Where is the Red Sea? The Red Sea leads into the Gulf of Suez, which is where the Suez Canal, which is where the Ever Given got stuck. No. But, okay, so the Red Sea is this body of water here. Jerusalem is here. Where is Nazareth? Do you even see it on here? Like, is it even on here? I don't know. Where is... Okay, so this is the Dead Sea over here. Where is... Let's see if we can find Nazareth. Nazareth, Israel. Okay, so here's Nazareth. Where is that in relation to... Oh, okay, yeah, Sea of Galilee. Okay. Church of the Annunciation. Okay, so this would be... That's where Nazareth is. Yeah, no, you're not getting there in 3 days. Not walking. With your tents and your family? No way. Okay, and then... Okay, well, I missed that. He came down by the borders near the Red Sea and he traveled in the wilderness. And okay, well, alright. So they're not getting there in 3 days. At least there's that. But still, like the river that empties into the Red Sea. It would have been here. I don't know. Call me crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so indeed, named the river Laman, and it emptied into the Red Sea, and the valley was in the borders near the mouth thereof. And when my father saw the waters of the river emptied into the fountain of the Red Sea, he spoke unto Laman, saying, Oh, that thou mightest be like unto this river, continually running into the fountain of all righteousness. And he spoke unto Lemuel, Oh, that thou mightest be like unto this valley, firm and steadfast, and immovable in keeping with the commandments of the Lord. Now this he spake because of the stiff-neckedness of Laman and Lemuel. For behold, they did murmur in many things against their father, because he was a visionary man, and had led them out of the land of Jerusalem, to leave the land of their inheritance, and their gold, and their silver, and their precious things to perish in the wilderness. And this, they said, he had done because of the foolish imaginations of his heart. And I would agree with them. And thus Laman and Lemuel, being the eldest, did murmur against their father, and they did murmur because they knew not the dealings of that God who had created them. Neither did they believe that Jerusalem, that great city, could be destroyed according to the words of the prophets, and they were like unto the Jews who were at Jerusalem, who sought to take away the life of my father. So they want to commit parricide. Interesting. And it came to pass that my father did speak unto them in the valley of Lemuel, in power, being filled with the Spirit, until their frames did shake before him, and he did confound them, that they durst not utter against him, wherefore they did as he commanded them. So he used Jedi mind power tricks to make them obey him. Cool. And my father dwelt in a tent. Yeah, we got that part already. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, being exceedingly young, nevertheless being large in stature, and also having great desires to know of the mysteries of God, whereof I did cry unto the Lord, and behold, he did visit me, and did soften my heart, that I did believe all the words which had been spoken to my father. Wherefore I did not rebel against him, like unto my brothers. And I spake to Sam, the forgotten one, making known unto him the things which the Lord had manifested unto me by his Holy Spirit. And it came to pass that he believed in my words. And behold, Laman and Lemuel would not hearken unto my words. And being grieved because of the hardness of their hearts, I cried unto the Lord for them. His Jedi mind powers weren't strong enough yet to make his brothers listen to him. This is typical for a younger child. I wouldn't listen to my sister either. And it came to pass that the Lord spake unto me, saying, Blessed art thou, Nephi, because of thy faith, for thou hast sought me diligently with lowliness of heart. And inasmuch as ye shall keep my commandments, ye shall prosper, and shall be led to a land of promise, yea, even a land which I have prepared for ye, a land which is choice above all other lands. So he is Abraham. He's Abraham. He's Abraham. Inasmuch as thy brethren shall rebel against thee, they shall be cut off from the presence of the Lord. And inasmuch as thou shalt keep my commandments, thou shalt be made a ruler and a teacher over thy brethren. For behold, in that day they shall rebel against me. I will curse them even with a sore curse, and they shall have no power over thy seed, except they shall rebel against me also. And if it so be that they rebel against me, they shall be a scourge unto thy seed, to stir them up in the ways of remembrance. Okay, so the brothers are going to hate each other, their offspring are going to hate each other, and it's going to be a big fight all the time. Interesting. So I'm guessing that this is where the Nephites and the Lamanites come from. These brothers, because of course we have Abraham, but we also have a little sprinkling of Jacob in here. We've got the tribes of Israel, the youngest brother being the prophet, like Joseph, telling his older brothers the words of the Lord that he's heard, his dreams, and his older brothers don't listen to him, and they're pitted against one another. So it's kind of like it's like the Book of Aragon. Aragon is Star Potter Trek of the Rings. And maybe there's a little bit of Dune thrown in there for good measure. But that's what this reads to me. Like like the characters are, it's the same story as the biblical characters, but just not the same. A little bit different. The characters are a little bit mixed up and mushed together, whatever you want to call it. I also had an interesting thought, and I don't know. I gotta go grab a book. Because of course I do. I lied. I got 7 books. But I'm only looking for one, and I had to grab the whole tract of them. This one and this one are the ones that I want. Okay, so 2. I mean, come on. It's only 2 bucks. It's 2 of them. Sheesh. Reading. Trying to find the passage that I want. I wonder. The Gates of Tashbaan. The way that this is written kind of reminds me of the Chronicles of Narnia. The way that the Calormen talk. I find it interesting that that just kind of like that came to my brain, my head, while I was reading this. They're like, sounds like the way the Calormen talk, and they're like really they're kind of flowery in their language and stuff. But I wanted to bring up and I was looking at the horse and his boy and trying to like remember how the Tarkhan talks in the first chapter, and he's a little bit more flowery than this. I think part of the flowery language is it's not flowery because I don't think it's very well written. The Book of Mormon. The Horse and His Boy is amazing, and I love it. It's one of my favorite Narnia books. The best one is The Silver Chair. I don't think anyone can argue that. It's the best. The most terrifying one is The Last Battle, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But the Tarkhan, when he shows up at the fisherman's house at the beginning of the book, he's talking, and he's talking with the fisherman, and this is the way that they talk to each other. The Tarkhan is talking about buying Shasta from Arshish the fisherman, and Arshish is trying to get a higher price for him by pretending to be his biological father, when in fact he found Shasta in a ship on the sea. So the Tarkhan says, "And now, O my host, I have a mind to buy that boy of yours." "O my master," replied the fisherman, and Shasta knew the wheedling tone, the greedy look that had probably coming into his face as he said it. "What price could induce your servant, poor though he is, to sell into slavery his only child and his own flesh? Has not one of the poets said, 'Natural affection is stronger than soup, and offspring more precious than carbuncles'?" "It is even so," replied the guest dryly, "but another poet has likewise said, 'He who attempts to deceive the judicious is already bearing his back for the scourge.' Do not load your aged mouth with falsehoods. This boy is manifestly no son of yours, for your cheek is as dark as mine, but the boy is fair and white, like the accursed but beautiful barbarians who inhabit the remote north." So yeah, just the way that they kind of talk to each other kind of reminded me of that. C.S. Lewis is so great. Anyway, I wanted to talk about The Last Battle. Such a terrible book. It's not terrible. It's great. It's great. It's just terrifying. And wonderful. Horrifying and wonderful. I think 34 is gonna have no. Tyrion, the last king. It's probably this one. Anyway, I don't want to sit here in silence and look at the book. Oh yeah, that part. I have to read The Last Battle again. Anyway. So that's chapter 2. How long is chapter 3? I might just go ahead and like what time is it? Oh, it's 10 o'clock already. Yeah, I think I'll be done. I'll try to do 3 and 4. No, next time I'm gonna play a game. Next time I want to play a game. Well, we'll see how I feel. We'll see how I feel. But that's chapter 2. That's my thoughts on chapter 2. You know, if I'd actually just read and stop talking and shush up, I could get further. But, no. I don't think I will. Anyway, okay, well, that was a good talk. Had fun, reading about stuff and then, making assumptions that were probably incorrect because I don't know geography or reading comprehension, maybe. But anyway, have a good night and, yeah, gotta figure out a sign off again. Night.